Hi, today I'd like to talk to you about using sign language with individuals with autism. In 2001, the National Research Council estimated that between one third and one half of individuals with autism were unable to communicate functionally on their own. So it's common for this population to need some type of communication system to help them communicate effectively within the community. There are many different types of communication systems, and sign language is one of them. You will often see challenging behavior decrease as a learner begins to learn sign because they are able to communicate more effectively. It is what they would like. There are some pros to using sign language. One is that it's in form of unaided communication, meaning that you don't need any type of device or any pictures in order to do sign language. All you need are your hands, and you have those with you at all times. Um, Another pro to sign language is that a learner can respond quicker sometimes than with PECS or a speech generated device. With PECS, they need to scan the book to find the picture, put the picture on a sentence strip, and then deliver it to somebody. Where with sign, just need to kind of do a quick scan in their mind to think of the appropriate sign, say the sign, and then the reinforcement is automatically delivered. So sign can give learners access to reinforcement quicker at times. There are some cons involved with sign language. If the individual has fine motor delays, it may be difficult to perform some of the signs. So that is definitely something that you need to take into consideration, is whether or not the learner will have the ability to manipulate their hands in a variety of ways to accurately do the signs. Also, individuals that experience memory loss, sign language may be challenging for this population, and PECS or speech generated device where they have access to pictures and they can see visuals may be more beneficial to individuals with memory loss. Finally, sign doesn't generalize to people that don't know sign, so that is something to take into consideration, that if this is an individual that's going to be able to get out in the community a lot independently, maybe a PECS book or a speech generated device where they're going to be showing pictures or have access to voice output could be more beneficial in that instance. There are several things that you should know when you are first beginning to teach sign language to somebody. The first thing is you want to start with 3 to 5 signs that look different from one another. So that will help the learner to easily be able to decipher through signs. So if you're teaching one sign such as candy that's up by the mouth, then you may want to teach jump that's down kind of away from the mouth, or cookie. But as you can see, jump and cookie are very similar, so you may not want to teach those two signs at once. You definitely want to start with highly preferred items and things that the individual gains access to multiple times throughout the day. And also consider delivering reinforcement in small bits. That way you can get many trials to work on something. So for example, if an individual is building with blocks, you may first want to provide them 3 to 5 blocks to build with, and then as they're building, model the sign for block and then deliver it immediately. Then the next time you may want to show the block, perform hand over hand with the individual to help them say block effectively in sign, and then deliver that reinforcement. Be sure when you're first starting that you don't ask them to sign every single time, or else this could cause some frustration. So as I said, you may want them to start with 3 to 5 blocks, and then you model the sign once, you have them do hand over hand to perform the sign, then you give a couple of blocks for free without requiring them to request. Then after that, you may request again that they perform the sign before you deliver the reinforcement. As they become more independent in performing sign, it's okay to ask for it more frequently, and you will probably see less frustration once they've gained some independence. Remember that initially these individuals do not have the ability to perform the signs independently, so it's important to provide some hand over hand assistance or some type of prompting in order for that sign to occur. So if you model the sign and you show the ball and the individual doesn't imitate it back, then you may need to take their hands to do the sign, help them perform that sign before delivering reinforcement. Once they get the momentum going and they start understanding that this is connected to this, you may not have to deliver complete hand-over-hand reinforcement. You may just need to give a little bit of a model in order for them to do it. You may only have to flash the ball in order for them to then sign for ball. Be sure that you are working on fading out that prompting, because the goal is to get the individual to be doing these things independently. It's very important to stay consistent with what it is that you expect from the learner. So if you decide that this is the sign for ball and this is where you want the learner to perform that sign, you always need to have their hands up here. Don't reinforce if they sign ball down here or if it's down by their legs. Make sure that you're always having them sign ball like this and that all staff know that. Again, if they're signing candy and you see them point like this or point over this way, don't reinforce with candy. Make sure that you provide the necessary level of prompting to get that hand up and sign candy appropriately before delivering the reinforcement. As the learner begins to develop many signs and works with a variety of people, you may want to consider doing a video log of signs that the individual knows, or possibly creating a book with pictures and an explanation. And I will often create a book similar to this. I will do 3 for one student. That way there is a book in the home, a book that the direct care staff can refer to, and then a book that the school staff has also. And then every time the student learns a new sign, I will print off 3 copies and it gets distributed to all of the books. That way everybody stays on top of things. This man right here that is in this book, he can be found online. If you type in ASL sign for grape, his picture will pop up, and he is a great model for many signs. Another resource that I like to use are these Sign to Talk cards. They offer very wonderful pictures, nice and clear, realistic looking pictures, and then on the back of the card there's the word, a breakdown of how to teach the word, and then also the visual of how to do the sign along with an explanation. So this is a really nice resource to use with children also. So lastly, I'm going to show you how I would do a video log if I was creating that type of resource for possibly direct care staff or teachers or parents, so everyone was on the same page with the signs that a learner is familiar with. So, cereal, cereal, cereal. Cup, cup, cup. Book, book, book. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. French fry, French fry, French fry. Ball, ball, ball. Milk, milk, milk. Block, block, block. Thank you for your time. I hope that this presentation has been helpful in teaching you how to initially start teaching sign to learners with autism. Remember, most important, to focus on their preferred items for the signs that you teach initially. Make sure that the signs that you're initially teaching look different from one another. Also, last but not least, please avoid starting with more, please, or thank you. While we all want our children to learn manners, it's most important to first start with specific items so the learner begins to make the connection with, if I sign this, I get this. If I sign this, I get this or this. That's another key point. Incorporate a variety of balls or a variety of different blocks so the learner is able to generalize the sign and know that that one sign can get them a variety of different things. Thank you and have a great day.